It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling.
Hey guys, today we're doing the long-awaited Q&A, or Q&A, questions and answers. Since I posted this short, hey guys, I'm gonna be doing a Q&A video. I have been harangued by you guys to answer the questions. When are you doing the Q&A? When's the Q&A coming out? When is the Q&A? This has been something you guys have been commenting on literally every single video that I've had. I think it's safe to assume at this point that pretty much everyone wants to see the Q&A. Today is the day. Questions will be answered. Q&A, Q&A, Q&A. Let's get into the video. There were a lot of duplicate questions, so I did kind of sort through them, and I narrowed it down to 100 questions. Honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna have time to answer all of those questions, but I'm gonna answer as much as possible. What is your most and least favorite art supply? Oh, this one's a hard one. I don't know, do I have to be specific about this? My most favorite art supply is paint. I realize that that is quite vague, but I do like paint. My least favorite art supply is probably either clay or stamp art. I really did not like stamp art. Why are you so positive? I love it so much. Thank you. I got a lot of comments about me being positive, so I wanted to address it. I don't know. I'm naturally pretty positive as a person, or optimistic. It's just in my nature. What is your favorite thing from Starbucks? Hard-hitting questions here. My Starbucks order is a medium iced caramel macchiato with whole milk. Do you like Pokemon? If so, which one's your favorite? Yes, I like Pokemon. I liked it very much when I was little. I used to watch it with my brothers, and my favorite was always Togepi. I don't know why, I just thought it looked really cute. But when I play the games, my favorite is probably Vaporeon because she is clearly the best. Can you please do a finishing childhood art kits? Yes, I will be doing more of those. It just takes me forever to do anything. Do you think pineapple belongs on pizza? Okay, now this is a weird question because it's not if it tastes good. It's not if it's an okay thing to do. It's, does it belong on pizza? Does it belong? No. No, it does not belong. It has no business being on pizza. That being said, it does probably taste okay. I've tried it a couple times. I'm not particularly a fan, but I can see how people would like it. It's like fine. But does it belong? No. Does not belong. When is your birthday? December 30th. Anyone that you want to collab with in the future? I think we all can probably guess and assume my biggest dream collaborator is Mariah Elizabeth. Do you like cheese? Yes. It's not do I like cheese, I love cheese. Do I like avocados? Yes. Do I like potatoes? Yes. We have a lot of food questions. A lot of people want to know what I'm eating. My favorite food, I don't know what my favorite food is. I usually say garlic knots when people ask me. I feel like across the board, no matter what time of day it is, a garlic knot always tastes good. And I know that's a strange answer, but I just love garlic knots. Do you have any plans of traveling abroad? Not at the moment. I've always wanted to go to Italy or Greece. Do you wish to be in a movie or a show? Because I find you to be of that level. Oh, thank you. I would say my two biggest things that I would want to be in, I have literally never auditioned for anything, but I've always wanted to be on the Disney Channel or in a Hallmark movie. Are you inspired by Mariah Elizabeth? Because I love watching Mariah's videos. Yes, I have several series on my channel that are inspired by Mariah. Obviously, the Squishy Makeover series, Create This Book, Thrift Store Makeovers. There's several things that I do that is similar to Mariah. So yes, I definitely have inspirations from Mariah as well as other things. Why are you so similar to Mariah Elizabeth? No hate, just generally asking. All along, I thought people were directly comparing me to Mariah Elizabeth because I was doing Squishy Makeovers and Create This Book. Is my personality similar to her? Do I look like her? Are we secretly BFFs? I don't really know. I do know that I love Mariah. She's been so nice. My answer to your question is I have no idea why I'm so similar to her. Do you now hate mannequins? Yes, I do now hate mannequins, but I also hated mannequins before that, so joke's on you. Do you prefer using a brush to paint or your fingers? A paintbrush. I don't like using my fingers. Do you have a boyfriend and will you ever show him? You mean a fiance? I'm engaged. And he doesn't like to be on camera, so probably not. Will you ever send out signed versions of your book? I have never thought of signing a bunch of Draw Your Journals and sending them to you, but if you guys would like to purchase signed copies, I guess I can do that. I don't know. Comment below if that's something you want, I guess, and then we can maybe do that. Don't say tomato. Okay, well, I said it. How many subs did you have before you were on Instant Influencer? I had around 8,000, I think, maybe 7. What goes on in your mind when you draw? Do you plan ahead, or do you just go with the flow and let your mind take you wherever it goes? I will say, when I don't have a plan, things usually don't turn out as good, but I have more fun making it. I do both approaches though. I will plan some things and not plan other things. Why do you look and sound like Jordan from that YouTube family? Okay, I get this comment a lot. I also get the Merrill twins a lot. I think the real question here is, why do Jordan and the Merrill twins look like me? Because I was born first. I'm older, so. Why are you so awesome? That is not a question, but thank you. If you could change your name, what would it be? You can change your name, actually. That is a legal thing we can all do. We're all allowed to. If we want to go down to whatever legal office and legally change our name, we can. I would not change my name. And the reason I haven't done it is I actually love my name, Marissa Nicole. I think it sounds nice. I have always liked my name and I have no desire to change it. How do you make all of these awesome videos in just a week and have a social life? I don't have a social life. Was it fun going on Instant Influencer with CHC? Yes, it was fun. It was also very stressful. Would I do it again though? Yes. Would you ever want to collaborate with Mariah Elizabeth? Yes. That would be literally my dreams come true. That would be amazing. Yes. Which squishy have you made that you hated the most? I actually have an answer for this. This one. When I first made this one, I hated it. I really hated it. But it has honestly since grown on me. It used to be a unicorn. I turned it into a horse with a party hat. But honestly, since then, I feel like I hated it for no reason. It's cute in its own right. There's nothing wrong with it. What's your most embarrassing moment as an artist? Too many to count. When I film a video, I film a video. So if I make a mistake, you can bet that I'm gonna make a video about it. Because for me, it's just a fun thing to make a video about. So I have made stamp art. That one was probably a really big fail. And I'd say my biggest fail to date has been homemade squishies. You just gotta watch it. Favorite book or author? My favorite book is actually quite fitting because all of the comments actually kept saying, I love how positive you are. And my favorite book is The Power of Positive Thinking. If you want to be more positive, read that book. It actually does give you a really good outlook and mindset on life. I can't remember who it was written by. I think it was written by a priest. I will link the book. Can you make a squishy ranking video? Yes, I can. Actually, you're kind of reading my mind here. I am going to be doing that very soon. Did Chip and Cherry really have something going on? I think we know the answer to that at this point. Yes, they got married and had a child. Which is Alina's favorite squishy? Alina's favorite is Seaford because she actually named Seaford. It's a great name and she came up with it. Do you have a P.O. box? Yes, I have a P.O. box. It's always in the description of my videos and you can send me squishies or fan art or whatever you want to send me. I will be doing unboxing videos when I get enough of things sent to me. Do you take YouTube as a job or a hobby? I take it as a jobby. A job and a hobby. What is your favorite character you've ever made? Okay, we're gonna save that for the squishy ranking video because I don't even know yet. I have to figure that out. Oh, this one was a huge question. I haven't answered this yet. Why is your YouTube channel named Bellamena when your real name is Marissa? So I have several reasons for this. The first reason is I always wanted a YouTube channel name that was one word, it sounded artsy, and kind of would act as a username for me. And when I thought of Bellamina, it just like instantly hit me. I was like, yes, that is my YouTube channel name. And I felt like it was really unique and I thought that it could be a really good name for a brand in the future if I was able to grow my channel big enough. Did you guys have to sleep in YouTube studios when you were doing Instant Influencer Season 2? No. We were in a Marriott hotel. When you were on Instant Influencer, did they let you keep your art pieces that you made? I really wanted to keep the butterfly painting, but I didn't get to keep it. No, they didn't let us keep any of them. How did you feel about the cameras surrounding you during Instant Influencer? Was it hard to concentrate? Yes. If you guys don't know, there were like 10 to 15 cameras at all times in all different directions, and you were mic'd. So they were constantly listening to what you were saying and watching you with the camera. And for people that are not used to that type of thing with a reality TV show, it is definitely an added thing that you're thinking about. You're thinking about the challenge, you're thinking about how you're coming across, and then you're also thinking about like, oh, these cameras are watching me. It was just a lot of layers of things to be stressed about. How are you really? There were so many questions with people saying, but how are you really doing? I think this was in reference to me being voted off on Instant Influencer, but I'm fine. I mean, I'm doing good, guys. I'm okay. Why did you make Draw Your Journal? Okay, so several reasons I made Draw Your Journal. The first reason is probably just because I love to read. I know Draw Your Journal is not a reading book, but I've always wanted to have my own book. And when I figured out you could self-publish on Amazon, that was a total game changer. This was like a life goal for me to have a book, and I'm so happy I did it. If you won the $100,000, I think for Instant Influencer, what were you going to spend it on? I really don't spend that much money. I probably would save it for a house. What do you think is your strong suit when it comes to art? This one I don't really know the answer to. I guess I would consider my strong suit to be editing. I kind of view my videos as a piece of art, which is kind of not as obvious. Do you like sushi? I'm a vegetarian, so I only eat the vegetarian sushi, but I love sushi, and Japanese food is one of my favorite types of food. Why did you become a computer scientist, and what made you love art? Something that people don't really realize a lot of the time is that computer science is very creative, and so is art. Obviously, it's very creative, but computer science is so much more creative than people realize. And there's been a lot of studies that show that girls that are good at drawing are actually very likely to be good at computer science. So if you're watching this and you're good at drawing, you might actually be very good at computer science if you gave it a try. What is your zodiac sign? I will start by saying I don't really understand zodiac signs. They're not really my thing. I don't really get it. That being said, my zodiac is a Capricorn. Do with that what you will. What is your favorite form of art to do? It's interesting because I don't know if people would consider this a form of art, but I do. My favorite is probably squishy makeovers, which is really very niche, very specific. Mariah Elizabeth came up with the concept of doing a squishy makeover, and since I have tried it, it's honestly my favorite type of art to do, and I would consider it an art form because it's so different than anything I've ever done. What is the main thing I need to be a perfect artist? I'm gonna stop you right there. You cannot be a perfect artist. No one is perfect. I am not perfect. I make terrible art all the time. The most important thing about being an artist, in my personal opinion, is just having fun. If you're having fun while you're making your art pieces, that's the whole point, right? What was your reaction when you got to meet ZHC? I don't even know. I said hi. By being on Instant Influencer, I kind of discovered about myself that in very high pressure scenarios, I actually become quiet, which is shocking to me because I'm very talkative, but in a high stress scenario, I actually become very quiet and like in the zone. So like meeting ZHC, like I don't know. I just like didn't really react that much. I was just like, hey, that's Zach. That's what's supposed to be happening. Like I was like so focused on other things that like it didn't even like cross my mind that I should be like excited. Were you shy on Instant Influencer? This kind of goes along with what I was saying. Yes, I was. I was shy on Instant Influencer. And I guess I am an introverted person, but I am pretty talkative. It's kind of like a weird combo, I guess. Were you crying after you lost ZHC Instant Influencer? I did not cry after. However, I did cry before I lost because when I finished the challenge, I started crying because I knew that I lost. So I had already cried beforehand, so by the time I was sent home, I was already like, yep, this is what's happening. Do you think you could have done better on your last challenge if you had had more time? Yes, you can always do better if you have more time. My video wasn't even finished, so like I definitely could have done better. There were a lot of things that went wrong behind the scenes that you guys didn't get to see, so Yes, I could have done better, but I mean, it is what it is at this point. When did you start making the videos like the squishy makeover videos, and how did you start getting into these kinds of videos? I started making squishy makeover videos for 2 reasons. The first reason is people kept commenting on my channel, "You're so much like Mariah Elizabeth, you need to do a squishy makeover. Oh my gosh, this girl is so similar to Mariah Elizabeth. She should do a squishy makeover." And I finally was like, who is Mariah Elizabeth and what the heck is a squishy makeover? So I looked her up, I started watching the videos, I thought they were really interesting. And then kind of at the same time, when I was looking up Mariah Elizabeth, I decided to do painting on paint palettes. Mariah commented on that video and said, "Oh my gosh, I'd love to see you do a squishy makeover." So then at that point, I was like, oh my gosh. So I tried it. I made Seaford in that video, my first squishy. And after I tried that, I really loved it and I kept doing it. What is your favorite color? It's hard for me to pick just one favorite color, to be honest with you. I do like all of the colors of the rainbow. That being said, my favorite color is usually like aquamarine, like a blue-green color. But I also really like pink, but I would probably pick aquamarine. What is your favorite animal? I would say my favorite category of animals is like water animals. I usually pick like penguins or dolphins or baby seals. I don't know. What was your dream job when you were a kid? My first dream job when I was a kid was a hairstylist or a hair cutter. I would do everyone's hair, like all of my little friends' hair, my sister's hair. I would cut all of my Barbie dolls' hair. What was your degree at college? I double majored in math and computer science for my undergrad bachelor degree. And then at my master's program, I got a dual master's, which means you have 2 master's degrees. My first master's degree is a robotics degree, and my second is computer graphics and game technology. What is your favorite vacation you've ever taken? I think my favorite vacation was probably when my family went to either Fort Lauderdale, which is Florida, or there was another place in Florida. We went to like a Sheraton hotel that had like a whole complex and they had like all these games at night. Me and my sister Alina really love hula hooping and like mini game contests, and at this one resort in Florida, they would have all of these games at night where you do like a hula hooping contest or like a freeze dance and all these different things, and we were very good at it and we won several times, so that's why we really liked that resort. Any middle school horror stories? Middle school. I don't really have a middle school horror story. The one story I like to tell about school is when I was in high school. My school had 3 floors of stairs and I ran as fast as I could, tripped up the first flight of stairs, got back up, kept running, tripped up the second flight of stairs, got back up, kept running, and it was very embarrassing because I tripped twice. I mean, it's like enough that you trip once up the stairs, but tripping 2 times up the stairs, separate flights of stairs, people were like actually laughing at me at that point. That was probably the most embarrassing. No one probably remembers except me, but yeah. Below. What do you think is the best thing you got out of Instant Influencer? The biggest thing I learned from being on Instant Influencer was probably just the experience of being on a high production TV set, specifically a reality TV show. There's so many things that go into that behind the scenes as far as producers. There's like different kinds of producers, story producers, everything that goes into that, all the cameras, all the lighting, all the different teams they have. I found that so interesting, and it's just something that you never really learn about or hear about until you experience it firsthand. What page are you most looking forward to in your Draw Your Journal? Oh, what page? I know what page. Draw your album. I don't know, like I want the cover of my album to be perfect. I want the song tracks to be really like artsy and like have cool meanings. Favorite video ever on your channel? Oh my gosh, these are good questions. Thank you, Clara. To be honest with you, my favorite video is always my most recent video because I work on it for so long and then I finally put it out and I'm so excited for you guys to see it, and it's usually my favorite. So whatever my most recent video is, that's my favorite. If you were to tell your younger self that this is you now, would you believe it? If I went back in time to before I even started my YouTube channel and then looked at this moment, I would probably be shocked because change happens so gradually that when you actually like take a moment and like look back at everything that's happened, then you go, oh my gosh, wow, I've done so much. I would be shocked, but I would probably believe it you know, because these are things that I know that I wanted to do. Which colored pencils company do you recommend the most? I use Prismacolor colored pencils and I really like them. They're really good. I haven't tried really any other ones besides Crayola colored pencils, so not the best authority on that. What kind of music do you listen to? I listen to a big range of things, but I'd say the main things I listen to are probably pop, country pop, and then like indie alternative. Have you ever thrown away your art because you feel like it's not pretty enough? How do you proceed? I have thrown away pieces of art because I didn't like it. I have since stopped doing that. This is kind of all about your mindset on it. You have to think to yourself, what is the purpose of making art? Are you making art for yourself or are you making it for other people? And you can make art for other people. It's just gonna be a lot harder for you to look at your piece and like it if you're making it for someone else. So for me and doing my YouTube channel, I really want each of my art pieces to be something that I personally like. For me, it's just about liking the process of making it. And if I'm not having fun while I'm making my art, there's really no point in it for me personally. So at the end, if I don't like my piece, I don't have to look at it afterwards. But again, it really depends on what your goal is. Are you making art for someone else or are you making it for yourself? Figure that out and then you can kind of figure out why you're getting upset by your art piece. Because if your goal was to make it for someone else and then at the end you don't like it because you feel like they won't like it, then it becomes a whole like mind game about like, do I like it? Do they like it? Does anyone like it? Does everyone hate me? And then you fall into like a whole spiral and it's like, well, why am I making art to begin with? I'm making art, personally me, I'm making art so that I'm happy. I like to make art because I like the process of making it, and if it doesn't look good at the end, that's okay, I can always make something else. Are you going to make a Draw Your Journal 2? We're on Draw Your Journal 1 right now, so I'm just gonna stick to that. Let's see if I can get Draw Your Journal 1 done, and maybe we'll think about 2. I don't know. I don't have any plans for it right now, but maybe. Who inspired you to open a YouTube channel? I would say over time, it was probably a lot of different channels that I watched in high school and in college that kind of inspired me to do the same thing. My favorite YouTuber probably of all time is either Zoella or Jenna Marbles. Those two probably inspired me the most to start a YouTube channel, but again, it's probably a combination of a lot of YouTubers that I watched. Where are you from? Born and living now. What is your religion and what is your ancestry? I'm from New York. I live in New York. I'm Catholic, and my ancestry, my mom is 100% Irish and my dad is 100% Italian. So I'm Italian and Irish, 50-50. How old are you? I am 26 years old. It actually says it in the About tab on my channel, but I guess no one reads that. Do you like pickles? Yes, I love pickles. I love them. Where do you get your squishies? I get my squishies from a couple different places. Amazon, my P.O. box, and Walmart actually has very good squishies I recently discovered. Do you have a dog? Yes, I have a dog. His name is Brownie. He's a poodle shih tzu, and he's actually very old. He's blind, deaf, and diabetic, and he's 16. So he's like ancient. How high is your spice tolerance? Scale of 1 to 10. I would say like a 2 or a 3. I do like very mildly spicy things, but I certainly cannot do extreme spice. I'm not really a fan of that. Do you have any siblings? I do. I have 2 brothers. Their names are Matt and Andrew, and I have a younger sister named Alina. This or that? Painting or sculpting? Painting. Coloring or sketching? Coloring. Red or purple? Red. Job or artist? I think that means computer scientist or artist. I would pick artist. What app do you use to edit your videos? I use Final Cut Pro. What is a secret you're keeping from us? Please tell. I feel like this person is a mind reader. I do have a really good secret that I can't tell you. I can't tell you it. You'll know within the next 6 months what the secret is, but I cannot tell you for several months. What's your favorite Netflix TV show? My favorite Netflix original is Never Have I Ever. Mindy Kaling wrote it, and let me just say, Mindy Kaling will never see how much I sing her praises. It has every single element that I could ever want in a TV show, and she has created the perfect triangle of love. Mindy Kaling is a genius, and Never Have I Ever is the best Netflix original. You can quote me. That is all of the questions that I have for you today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week for another video. Bye!